How do you feel about all these new labels within the queer community? Pansexual, non-binary, gender fluid. I mean, transgender is a part of those new terms. But do you feel lumped into that, or like those are even newer than transgender?
Well, but if they're pertaining to gender, if they're new terms pertaining to gender, but if they're new terms pertaining to sexuality, I think those are two different things, right? Like pansexualism and
that sexual orientation.
That sexual orientation, and then non-binary being somewhere on that spectrum of gender expression. I think they're different.
Yeah.
I think that non-binary people definitely do have a place in the trans community. I think that they're definitely on that spectrum for sure. And I think that as a world, we're constantly growing and evolving and coming across new ideas and theories, and we're always exercising those and expressing those. And I think that as the world continues, we will have more words to identify and label. But I don't really assign any kind of label.
Right.
Just because I think that is just such a rigid box.
Yeah. I'd like us to get away from labels too, but also we like labels a lot. So
as human beings, we like to identify.
It's hard to.
Our left brain and ego likes to.
Yeah,
put everything into a box.
As we evolve as human beings, our language must too.
Of course.
There's just like so many ways to be a human.
Yeah.
I think that the more labels, the better. Like in terms of the more ones being introduced.
Right.
Like if you don't find one that fits you, by all means. Like I'm friends with a non-binary demi-girl trans person. So that means like they sometimes feel like a girl, sometimes feel non-binary, and that's the perfect label for them.
Yeah.
And you know, labels don't have to be restrictive if you're in the right one, you know, and I think humans are complex, every single human. So I love labels.
Yeah. And I think that's what
Label making.
Transgender brings. Like humans have always been complex, but we've categorized them into these like simple little boxes of boy, girl, masculine, feminine, all that. Whereas I think part of what you all have done in your own ways with the people that are in your lives is shown them how much more complex and unique we all really are.
Yeah.
You get to show that on a much more physical, like really out there way, but I think what I think people can identify, and I hope people identify even if you identify as straight, is that you have so much more going on in you than you even know. And you guys have had to go through that publicly, but we all have the opportunity to do that if we want to.